Hi, my name is Kingsley. I developed Two Sail to help sailors go faster and safer. With 50 years experience teaching children to adults, learners to champions, dinghies to yachts, join me in the sim and have fun sailing. This video is focused on tools for instructors and coaches.
I recommend that you jump into the room that's private with friends, and that will allow you to set up both your server, whichever country you're in, and a harbour name so that you're working into an exclusive space. Put in any boat name that you want and sail with friends. I suggest everyone does a boat controls process and goes through the boat controls. Super easy, takes a couple of minutes. When we first jump into the sailing, we have a training area here, but I do suggest we actually go to the racing area because that will provide more options for what you need to do. At any time in racing mode, just hit the skyhook to freeze your own position, and then you can rack up the other boats around you, ready to go. Freeze everyone, and then we can talk to each other and then release each other, or release all of us, so that we can all sail off at the same time. With an easy reach, I suggest that we just go around the white mark and do a tack and then head back towards the yellow mark. There might be a few collisions along the way. Collisions are turned on in private mode as compared to public mode when you can just sail your boat straight through. Notice the no-go zone, which is automatically turned on. We can go into cheats mode and turn off the no-go zone, turn off the instrument panel as well. If you need to catch up with them, you have a couple of options here. One would be to go into cheat mode and add a bit of extra wind. So you can add wind override, and if I just bump the wind up a little bit, I will quite quickly speed up my boat and get up there to catch up with them, or indeed I can just jump into a rib. While we're in our different boats, we have the original dinghy, which has the halyard and our centerboard and our vane controls, or we can just simply go into our rib and bladder around in our rib. Just be a little bit careful, they do capsize. Or we can head off with a yacht and use our use a jib as well as our mainsail. Just by dragging up on the sailor's head, we can still jump into our coach boat and rack all the boats up around us. Again, in our boat selection, we have our super yacht. In this particular one, we can't zoom around where we're looking from, but we can move our sail around from side to side of the boat, or indeed fore and aft, and we can also look around and see what's going on. Just click the little home button and that put our sailor back at the helm again. If that's not big enough for you, you can go up to a catamaran. Or indeed a cargo ship. Lost the other boats, put out our skyhook, rack them up, bring everyone back together, freeze everyone, have a quick chat about what we're trying to do, and then off we go. If we are doing learn to sail, I do suggest we jump in under the coach's hat and then go to race options and create easy reach, click on the easy reach, and then create a new race. This will bring us all back together automatically. Sail between the yellow mark and the white mark. We have here, we can take out our main sheet out of auto control, and then we've got our boat to ease the main out to slow it down, or we can pull it on and oversheet it. Get the difference between tacks and jibes, and indeed auto weight. So we can just move our sail around and see what changes things as far as our boat speed is concerned. Once you've set up a reach for our learners, then one of the things you can do is drop some lollipops along the way, and then it's either you or they can drop them and then return back, see if you can control your boat and run over them. It's all about boat control. Down at the bottom we do have a full instrument panel, but you can turn it off and just get the basics of the wind speed and the boat speed. For more information on the instrument panel, there's a separate video on the various functions that are happening down there. For races, I do suggest that we go into coach race options and then a normal upwind, and you can override the normal upwind with wind direction, wind strength, course angles, start line bias, the tide that's coming, and a whole lot of gust options happening here. If we're going into more advanced racing, we can also introduce islands and tide. So we've got some boat wind flicks there, coast side. Let's do a big tall island and a sandbar. And we need to. And what that will do for us is that we can see our big tall island over there and our sandbar. Obviously, the sandbar just affects and gives a tide shadow, whereas the tall island will give a tide and a wind shadow. We can see that under our cheats by going up here, and so show tide shadow around the land, show wind direction and land wind shadow around the boats. Let's turn them all on. It's got wind shadow around the boat, and if we zoom up, we can actually see our tide and wind effect as it applies around both the sandbar and also a larger island. Lost our boats? Too easy. Push the rack button. Here they are. As we get more advanced modes, we can also do into speed cheats, allow pumping, sail pumping, and rocking the boat.